What do you get when you give the award-winning comic book artist named Jock the ability to tell his own story in a beautiful 48-page magazine-style comic book? Well, you get Gone. Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. This is Marz here, and today we have another Love It or Skip It comic book review. We'll be talking about Gone. That's right, this is a comic book by the artist known as Jock. He's now working with a company called Distillery, DSTLRY, and they make these huge, large magazine style comic books, which are like 48 pages long. Beautiful art, so it allows artists to really express themselves, what they think their story should be. In this story, Jock follows his main character, whose name is Abby. She's a 13-year-old stowaway who comes from a very harsh and difficult colony planet, and she sneaks aboard a luxurious space liner, hoping for, well, actually to steal something. But basically, what happens? She finds herself stuck in the middle of a war between saboteurs and parasites. So, hey, let's delve a little bit into it, and we'll talk what happens. There are basically three issues that were published for this comic book. It was back October 2023 for issue number one, January 2024 for number two, and May 2024 for number three. Abby and her friends live in a brutal colony world where basically they are starving. They don't have any resources to survive, and so they're forced to basically go into a life of petty crime. And so they steal stuff from the corporation that manages and controls their world. Abby's mother has a little child with her brother, a sibling, and she's out there trying to see if she can help the family. Abby at this time is a young girl. She's got to be preteen, and so she's basically trying to do whatever she can to survive. She gets caught up with these guys who end up being saboteurs, who trick her onto going to this luxury liner, space liner, to go grab something, to go steal some stuff. But in reality, they plan to start a bomb or war, to either take over the whole ship. And she's just in the middle of it. Unfortunately, she didn't know what was going on, and so when the bomb started exploding, she gets caught on board the ship as it takes off, and she's unable to come back, get off the ship before it finally is out into outer space. So she's stuck, and then now you start having a battle between the saboteurs and the captain and his security staff to try to capture the saboteurs. They see her, they assume that she's part of this whole thing, and at the same time the saboteurs don't feel that she's thrown in the lot with them to help them do what they have to do. So she basically has to stay by herself, figure out what's going on, and make sure she doesn't get caught. During the interim, she befriends the ship's cook, who does help her out, with some food and allowing her to survive. Unfortunately, he gets killed, and it's revealed that he was basically one of the saboteurs, one of the leaders of the saboteurs, which is kind of crazy. One of the things that we find out about this whole ongoing battle between both the saboteurs and the captain of the ship. The captain of the ship is Salvatoris, and he is, what we find out, aboard. And he's obsessed with Abby, and he's obsessed with the saboteurs. But Abby, of course, he's just all crazy about it because he's seen her and he knows who she is. And how does he know who she is? Because he's her goony goo goo father. That's right. Abby is Salvatore's father, and we don't know that at first, and it takes a little while for it to develop. But that's why he's so obsessed with trying to grab her, and trying to take control of his keep control of his Starliner. To keep control, he puts the passengers in stasis, which allows him and the security crew to just run amok, trying to control or limit or even destroy the saboteurs that are able to get them. At the same time, we also have to deal with a hive mind parasite that's taking over crew members and the security, and controlling their minds and body. It's like a gigantic, gaseous spread. It starts with a single carrier and just spreads rapidly, transforming infected people into part of a huge collective intelligence and turning the ship into like a hive. Abby is able to successfully fight back because she's a desperate and cunning individual. She has, after years of fighting in this battle between protecting her, saving herself between the saboteurs and the and the security, she's been able to hone her physical powers, and she's also able to exploit the weakness of the infected crew and isolate them and eliminate them. And lastly, she was able to destroy the parasite. Now, one thing that we have to say about Abby is that she's extremely resourceful, and that for her, the whole thing with her father being the head of the ship is really difficult for him. It's really difficult for her to handle. And what she finds out is like trying to understand why her father is here in this role, and and why he's trying to go after us. And what we find out is that Abby's father basically, for his career, basically abandoned his family. He got her mother pregnant and just walked away. He's like, yo, I don't care. You're just like someone I'm using, having a good time with. But I have bigger ambitions. I want to be a captain of a ship, and I guess before he wasn't a captain, but now he is, and he couldn't be held back by this relationship that we was having, because he didn't really consider it, something serious. But it's pretty shocking, because you're like, wow, man, I couldn't believe that's why he was so obsessed with her from the very beginning, and you know why you find that she is so unrelenting in the story, and that because she's always like, I have to get back to my mother, I have to help my mother, and at the very end she actually gets back to see her mother. But here's the crazy thing: after all that's been going on in a spaceship, normally we say when you're on space, time basically stands still and everything around you, ages. Is actually opposite. When she goes home to see her mother is absolutely shocked at what she's seen, because by the time she gets there, you know, Abby's like, instead of being the young teenage girl, she looks like a hard, aged, battle scarred woman, and not the young woman that she's seen before. So it takes the mother aback. But hey, I gotta say, I like the story. The art is fantastic. I gotta say once again that Jock does a great job in showing up this particular format. What is it? 48 pages, magazine like. I would say cover just a million variant covers if there's anything that you want. I think it's also just a basic story, but the look and feel of this particular story is pretty good. So I say if you have a chance, go check out Gone. It's also online, and you can buy it from Distillery Comic, and they are DSTLRY. This is something that I just have to reemphasize, is that this comic format is fantastic, especially if you like a specific artist. You want to see them showcasing their work, and this is what I guess reading comics is all about. Yes, you want to hear the story, but you want to see the art shine, and in this format, it's fantastic. If you have a chance, I suggest you grab it. If you like what you hear, give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Spinner Rack out.